Welcome folks to a brand new video. If you can remember, a couple of weeks back we did a Manchester City save where we destroyed them. We released all their players, relegated them to Division 2 I think it was, and reduced their monies drastically. We're going to do the same again with Real Madrid. However, this time round is going to be a little bit different. Because we can only go as far as La Liga 2, we will be relying heavily on their youth intake to get them back to La Liga. And once we reach La Liga, everything will be almost back to normal. So we'll see how long it takes for them to get back to the La Liga after releasing all the first team, which we have done already. And if you have a look at the side, this side is literally full of 17-year-olds to 22. Well, there's one 22-year-old that's found in the B team. They have got an under-19s B and a C team, which we have taken players from. And as you can see, I released everybody in the first team: Cruz, Alaba, Modric, Bellingham. We'll have a look at some of these players where they end up during the save. So what we're going to do in this particular save, we're going to try and get them to win the La Liga, going to get them to win the Champions League, all within 10 seasons, whichever one comes first. So if we don't win anything and the 10 seasons is up, that's the end of the challenge. But if we do win the La Liga and we win the Champions League, we've got to win both of them. Doesn't matter if they're in separate seasons, the video will end and we'll see how long it takes. With Man City, it did take us a fair bit, 7 to 8 seasons I think it did, but we did travel from League 2, which was tier 4 of the English pyramid. But in Spain, we can only do it from League 2, which is tier 2. So they've only got one division to climb. So as you've seen the squad, it looks pretty stacked. So I don't know whether these star ratings are based on because of the league that we're actually in, but some of these players look absolutely phenomenal already. Noel Lopez looks pretty good at 20 years old. He's going to be a winger or a striker or that side. I mean, he looks pretty good at this age. So as we know, the Champions League, they had won that in last time in 2022. The first division, they have won it sporadically last time again in 2022. The World Club Championship 2022, Europa League quite a way back, Super League in 2022, and Spanish Cup in 23, recent Super Cup in 2022. Yeah, so they've been very, very dominant at the top of Spanish football. But we'll see how well this youth team actually does. Like I say, it is pretty stacked. Alex Jimenez, a right wing back, again looks pretty okay. That's looked really good. Is he overpowered for this division? Who knows? Have they got a better youth setup than Manchester City had? If you haven't checked that video out, please go back and check it out for me. It is a pretty good one, especially how long it took for us to get back to the Premiership. That was a pretty amazing stuff. So if we have a look at the finances, we have used the in-game editor to manipulate these figures. So we have got an overall balance of €1 million, a modest wage budget of €100,000 a week. We're currently spending up to €20,000 a week, which is pretty modest. And like I say, no transfer budget. And for those that may ask, in order to release everybody, we use the in-game editor. We picked on a player, we choose Theo, click on the in-game editor, and we just terminated his contract. That's all. We didn't get any money for him, we just let them go. So a lot of players did go just like that. So if we quick pick our best 11 currently as it stands in this sort of formation, I want to try and maybe use 2 midfielders and go attacking the Real Madrid way, I guess. There's no reason why they shouldn't, despite the fact that they are in League 2 anyway, but we might drop one back anyway, balance it out a little bit. We want to go a bit positive as well. We'll adjust some of these positions as well accordingly to the players. But at the first look, they look very, very solid indeed. If we go to squad, and what I normally do is unpick everybody here and have a look what we got. I mean, we have got some very good players like a goalkeeper, Mario De Luis. Again, looks pretty decent. But we've also got one between the sticks who's just as good, in my reckoning, as well. And probably a lot better, actually. So that's why he's been picked first. So I do have a look around, see if there's any that seem out of place. This is our best 11. There are some positions which they seem very weak. We're just trying to decipher which one's the best ones, really. So it might take a couple of seasons. Hopefully it won't take that long. Otherwise we'll be stuck in Division 2 for quite a while. And the results have not gone that well, to be fair, but we have played against tough teams like Bayern Munich. We only lost 2-1. Zaragoza, we lost 2-0 in our first game of the season. Gijón, we did win. Huesca we won as well. Villarreal beating we even beat. And we drew with Andorra. So overall, since that first game loss, become unbeaten, which is pretty good. We have got the Champions League to play, so we're not holding any hope out for that at the minute. With Bayern Munich, Marseille and Copenhagen in the group, it's not ideal, but we'll see how we fare. But currently we are lying in 4th position in the league. 10 points, 2 points off Espanyol, Elche and Albacete as well. We've done well considering it is our youth squad, so we'll see how they fare over the season. With any luck, we will finish in a playoff place minimum at least anyway. And who knows, we might even get automatic promotion, in which case we will then get unlimited transfer budget to whatever the club gives us. So we have to get to the La Liga as soon as possible, because 10 seasons isn't very long. And even with our youth side, we are still predicted and favourites to finish top of the group. So let's jump into our first season and see how we get on. Part 1 of the challenge to get back to La Liga in one season has been done. We've actually won League 2. 2 points in it in the end. Look how close it was. Albacete and Valladolid, 2 points behind each. Then a further 2 points is Eibar. Espanyol not far behind either. It's very, very close. 4 teams going to the playoffs, but we go up automatically. Only losing 7 games in the end, which is quite remarkable, really. We did lose heavily against Gijón 5-3, but other than that they have been relatively close. Latasa 34 goals this season, absolutely fantastic stuff from him. But going into the cup competitions, I'm not really at this point too concerned, but we did get all the way to the Spanish Cup and finished runners up. Wow, losing to Atletico Madrid 3-2. Goodness me. We beat Albacete 7-1 over the 2 legs in the semi-finals. The quarter-finals, we beat Ponferrada. 4th round, we beat Eibar, winning the 3rd round. 2nd round, did we must have gone into the 2nd round there. No, I think it's because we were in Europe that we didn't enter until the 3rd round. But overall, how did we manage to miss a lot of the other teams is remarkable. Atletico beat Barcelona. We missed all the bigger teams. The Champions League, we get knocked out in the group stage, finishing bottom of the group, which is probably expected really. The 1 win coming over Copenhagen, we drew with Marseille and then lost to the others. Not that bad though, to be fair, but we did lose, and it was expected, especially with the youth team. The final being won by AC Milan over Napoli. Squad wise, how did our youngsters do though? 47 goals for Latasa. Wow, that is incredible. He's only worth 17 million euros. Seriously, he's at 23 years old and he puts them sort of figures in. 13 and 13 for Reina, 11 and 14 for Paz, 10 and 12 for Theo. I mean, they're not that impressive, but Latasa, that is impressive. So going into La Liga next season, financially, I mean, 192 million euros. It's whatever they give us. We've only got 95 million in the bank. They've even pumped up the wage budget as well. So we probably won't spend all of that, at least the wage budget anyway, but we can definitely do something with that transfer budget, and that probably come down to sponsorship. With a fair bit of sponsorship coming through though. Any debts? Yeah, we've got $500 million in debt. Well, I look forward to spending some of that. We could definitely improve our side, so we'll see what happens going into next season. But yeah, thankfully, this was the reason why we needed to get out of League 2. So as you can see from the transfers, not much happening on the ways of out. A lot of the youngsters went back to the youth teams and the 2nd teams and 3rd teams, get more game time. They're not obviously going to be getting it in the La Liga. They just weren't good enough. But we have kept a few, and we did bring in a few other players like Patrick Duku. He comes in, looks really good as a left back, 19 years old as well. £20 million from Salento. Alex Scott to play in midfield, £80 million from Bournemouth. Again, another player that looks absolutely phenomenal as well, and probably the next best thing to Jude Bellingham, I feel, in this game. Lenny Yoro for €50 million from Lille. I've used him before. He's an absolute phenomenal defender, 18 years old, and definitely fits in with the youth team that we are trying to build. And then from SEP, for £72 million, this player was already transfer signed when we took the game over. Technically, he wasn't in the first team last season in the first season, so on a technicality, we can use him. That's the basis I'm going on. Let me know down in the comments if we should really have done this. But we are going to use him, see what happens. He's 18 years old and this is his first season. So I'm very intrigued to see what happens with him as well. So overall, £222 million spent. We had a lot of wages, we shifted a little bit, and we had quite a lot of money once all the sponsorship money came in. So we're going to stick with the same formation. And if we pick our best 11, if it lets me, we've got Hendrick up top, Park, Reina, Paz, Scott, Martin, Jimenez, Yoro, Marvel and Dorgu with Canizares in goal. There are going to be a couple of positions we will want to start changing, but we may not, depending on some of these youngsters from the youth team, if they develop nicely. So far so good. 3 wins in the league so far against Vigo, Valladolid and Sevilla, and then we lost to Bilbao, which is probably expected because we still got a lot of youth players in the side, and we are currently lying in 3rd position. I'll take it. We need to finish in the top 6 to get European football, so that's our aim. Of course we want to win the La Liga and the Champions League. We want to do this within the 10th season, so season 2 coming straight up. Let's simulate and see how we do. Wow, and what an accomplishment these lads have done. Very, very young side, and we finished 3rd in a Champions League spot as well. Yes, we are quite far behind Atletico and Barcelona. Still a lot of work to do, but I'm sure we'll be able to do it in the next coming seasons. 73 goals scored. I mean, that is absolutely amazing. We did crumble towards the end though. 3 losses in the last 5. So there's a potential 9 points, which could have got us closer to 2nd spot, but I'm relatively happy with that. We don't want to aim too high very early on. Competition wise, we've still got to play this Club World Championship, so we'll see how well these youngsters do there. But the Spanish Cup, we got knocked out by Villarreal 1-0 in the 4th round, and the Super Cup we lost to Atletico 5-3. Wow, something we're going to have to remedy going forward. But other than that, I'm relatively happy. We have got quite high up in the league. We were predicted to finish around about mid-table or top 10, but 3rd spot is very, very impressive. And looking at our squad, 27 goals for Hendrick, the 18-year-old, which is absolutely phenomenal. Theo weighs in at 14 and 11. Park 7 and 13 out on the right hand side, with Alex Scott 6 and 5. I'm hoping he's going to improve a lot more than that. 12 assists for Paz at left wing. Apart from that, nobody's really done an awful lot, have they really? We need a lot more improvements, especially some of these big guys here as well. Although Yoro's 19 years old, 38 games, looks okay. Jimenez as well, 20. I mean, you look at our side and it is very, very young indeed. So going into next season, shall we look how ridiculous the finances are going to be? Wow, okay, with 231 million euros in the bank, we've been given 325 million euros to spend. Now, no doubt the sponsorship and what have you will go into that afterwards, but 300 million euros, by gum, we are going to be spending that. Right, with an insane amount of transfer budget, we didn't even spend it all. I didn't feel like we needed to replace everybody with it, which we could have quite easily done. However, we do bring in a couple of players from Rennes for 72 million euros. We bring in Joanel Belosian, 20-year-old French defender. Looks pretty good actually. His value's shot right up to about 114 mil. But for 20 years old, he can definitely grow. He's got lots of potential as well. At 6'4", I think it'll do pretty well at the back. Next up is Savio from Celtic, 65 million euros. Again, 21 years old. Bags of potential. Looks absolutely superb. To go out on the wing, left or right, doesn't really matter which one, but he's very, very quick. He's got good dribbling. He can cross the ball. I just think for 21 years old, is the world's his oyster, and at 152 million valuation now, that seems quite a bargain. Again, from Copenhagen for 20 million, we didn't go mad here. We got Rooney Bargy. Cannot pass on a name like Rooney, but he's going to be playing on the right hand side, I believe. Again, very quick, got good agility, natural fitness. He can dribble as well at the same time. He's got very good technique as well. So again, another player with bags of potential and very, very quick. And he does shoot from a distance, so hopefully he'll bag a few goals on him as well. 19 years old, would you believe? And finally, we bring in Seaman from Stuttgart, a goalkeeper, 13.5 million euros. See, we didn't go really mad with these players. 19 years old. Definitely one for the future. I feel like instead of going for the older players, we bring in some youngsters with lots of potential and they look pretty good, which can be at the club for a very, very long time. So our best 11 looks like this: Seaman, Jimenez, Yoro, Balacian, Dorku. We've got Martin, Scott, Bargi, Reina, Savio and Endrick. Reina looks a little bit out of his depth at the moment, but I'm sure he'll do well. I think he's the only one remaining from the youth setup apart from Jimenez, I think. They're the only two. And Martin, sorry. They're the only three players that we've got left in the starting 11. We haven't had it all our own way. We did play the Club World Championship. We show that first, we did win our first game 1-0. We drew the second one 1-1 with Al Ittihad, and then we lost AC Milan and Barcelona. So we didn't really progress that far in there, really, to be fair. But this season we started off with a 3-0 victory over Villarreal. Pamplona we smashed 4-0, and then Almeria and Valladolid we drew. But the Champions League, we've been drawn against PSV, Porto, Barcelona, Astana, Arsenal, Inter, Ajax and Nice. I would like to think we could get out of this. Now we're starting to get some pretty good players in, but if we can nurture the players that we've got and keep them here for a good few years, we'll have a banging side. We are currently 4th in the table, unbeaten, which is always nice to see, just behind Atletico Madrid by the 1 point, and we're predicted to finish 11th in the table in the Champions League. I'll take it for now. So let's jump into our 3rd season and let's see if we can bring home a trophy of sorts. And we finished an incredible 2nd position in our 2nd season back in La Liga, and wow, 4th last season, 2nd this, and we were only 8 points behind the eventual winners Barcelona, due to the fact that we did draw 4 games more. We lost the same amount of games: Cadiz, Barcelona, Almeria and Sevilla. All very close games as well, and all away from home as well. 82 goals scored and only 21 conceded. That's a testament to the back line that we have got, and a goalkeeper as well. So looking forward to seeing the improvement on them guys. But that is a phenomenal season, and the only people really to top the billing is Savio with 14 assists and Seaman 20 clean sheets this season. Competition wise, we did finish runners up in the Super Cup, losing 4-2 to Barcelona. It's unfortunate, but we did get all the way to the semi-final of the Spanish Cup, losing out to Atletico 3-2 overall despite a second leg victory 1-0. Barcelona do progress in the other semi-final, beating Villarreal 5-4, again only just losing the second leg. So I'm guessing the final, put your bets on Atletico Madrid. Well, I would not have put bets on them winning it, that's for sure. And then the Champions League, we get knocked out in the league phase. Ouch. We didn't even progress. 2 wins, Astana and PSV. We drew with Nice, Inter and Porto, but lost to Ajax, Arsenal and got smashed by Barcelona. Well, that is very disappointing considering how well we've done in the other competitions. We're some way off winning this Champions League though, that's for sure. But seeing how well we've done, the stats aren't too bad either actually. Endrick 21 and 6, 17 and 8 for Theo. Bargi 16 and 15. Savio 13 and 17. Yoro at the back. In defence, centre-back mind, 12 and 2. That's phenomenal. Renier, we are going to have to think about replacing, but he did come out with 12 and 5 overall. Alex Scott starting to look good now, 9 and 14. 47 goals conceded by Seaman, hence why he got 10 clean sheets in the league. 24 overall. I'd be interested to see how many records we break, if at all any, at the end of this rebuild. But yeah, 24 clean sheets, that's really, really good. So let's have a look, see how much we got to improve the side to push on. And we're going to be given, wow, okay. It's getting up and up. 417 million euros. Wow, that's immense. There's going to get to a point where we're not going to be able to sign anybody because we will have had the best crop of players or youngsters but that's really high. We have got 443 million euros in the bank as well. Debts, yeah, $500 million still. We're only paying 3 million euros a month, but we can definitely do some damage with this. With not much happening in the transfer window apart from bringing a couple of players in. We're bringing Simeone Profundi, Italian, 20 years old. He can play on the right wing. He can also play as cam. I think that's where we are actually going to be playing him. Plenty of potential, and he's superb. I think I had him in a rebuild not long ago, and I've just never known a player like it. He improves so quickly, it's unbelievable, and it's exactly who we need in this middle of the park. 63 million euros though, but I think money well spent. From Benfica for 59 million, we bring in João Neves. Again, another young player, 21 years old, can play in the midfield or cam. You'll see the formation when we come round to doing it, but he looks again superb. We've got another attacking option with him and Profundi and Alex Scott as well playing. We're transforming this Real Madrid side into something else here. And then from Manchester United for 65 million euros, we're bringing Rasmus Højlund. I don't think he's doing anything at Man United, so we might as well bring him to the club. I'm a fan of his. He's 23 years old, however, not the 21, 22-year-old that we're looking for. However, he has got very good potential. He's very, very quick. He's got good finishing on him as well. Despite scoring 23 goals for United in 77 games, he's still yet to get off the mark here. So we're changing our formation slightly. We're going to have one midfielder. That's going to be Alex Scott, maybe, I think. If we pick our best 11, Scott actually goes into the shadow striker role. Neves drops back one. Profundi, Bargi and Savio up front with Hendrick. No Højlund just yet, but we've got a very good backup off the bench. And our back four is as it was last season. Although Dorgu looks the weakest link in the side so far. But they did only concede 21 goals last season in the league. So I'm having faith with them for this season at least anyway. But our front line, wow. So far so good. We struggled in the friendlies. That's just trying to find a formation. And then we did change it after the Vigo game where we've won 3 on the bounce. 3-0, 3-2 and 2-0. So we're back on track once again. We've drawn Sporting, Inter, Aston Villa, Beta Jerusalem, Leipzig, PSG, Nice and Dinamo in the Champions League. Where at the minute we are predicted to finish 17th. So not as good as before. We are lying 6th in the table of La Liga. 1 point behind the leaders Sevilla and Cadiz. Wow, they've shot up from somewhere. Barcelona level on points. They lost a game as well. They lost to Vigo. Did we lose to Vigo? Vigo are doing us one this season, aren't they? Both at home. So I'm expecting to beat them on the way back. Who did they lose to? Sevilla. Wow, talk about merry-go-round there. So let's jump in once again into season 4 this time. And let's see if we have any better luck this time round. And we've only just gone and done it. And we've only gone and won the second of our challenges. 1 to get us back into La Liga quickly, which we have done. And 2 to win the league. And 3 now we've just got to win the Champions League. Fingers crossed it could be this season. So season 4 we've won the league quite convincingly in the end. 3 points. I say that's convincing. The formation did have us concede a lot of goals, but a very good goal difference. But 117 goals. 4 losses, which include a 5-0 drubbing from Barcelona. We lost to Real Hispalis and Almeria. I think we lost to Almeria last time as well. Barcelona on the hand. Wow, am I reading this correctly? We beat Barcelona 8-1. What on... Did they field a side out at some point? Oh my gosh. Wow, I tell you what, that is phenomenal. 29 wins from the 38 games is really, really good. And on top of that, we're in the Champions League again the following season. So more good news and probably more money spouted at us as well. Hendrick is the leading goal scorer, just ahead of Ansu Fati. 22 goals, Savio 15 assists, and he also gets the 3rd best player in the league as well, behind De Jong and Ansu Fati. We don't get many clean sheets this time round, which is unfortunate. Competition wise, oh my god, talk about a season of almost there. Right, let's start off with the Super Cup. Runners up in that competition, losing to Sevilla after extra time. Ouch. Despite having top goal scorers in the competition. The Spanish Cup, Who did we lose to? Barcelona 4-3. That's probably the closest out of the games we played against them. A 5-0 drubbing and an 8-1 win over them. So 4-3. Who would have predicted that? And the semi-finals of the Champions League, where we played Man City, and oh goodness me, 9-5 over the two legs, with 7-2 being the second leg victory for Man City. What on earth? Right, money's on who is going to win the Champions League, Man City or PSG. On that form, it's got to be Man City, surely. It wasn't. PSG beat them. Wow. So let's have a look at the league phase. How did we fare? Well, we finished in 9th position. 5 wins. Dinamo beat Jerusalem, Aston Villa, Inter and Sporting. We beat them quite convincingly. A draw against PSG, which isn't too bad. And we lost to Nice 6-1 and lost to Leipzig as well. Barcelona unbeaten in the whole competition. Well, in the group stage at least anyway. Man City finished in 3rd and PSG in 4th. So the knockout round, we played Benfica. We smashed them 4-1 over the two legs. Round of 16, we played Leipzig and we beat them 5-3. Quarterfinals, we played Nice and we got our own back on them 8-1 over the two legs. Goodness gracious. And the semi-final, as we saw. I tell you what, that's a very, very good season. Almost back to our very best. But the main thing is we have come away with a trophy. And if we look at the form as well, look, we once we got to top spot, we did not let go. Well done, the youngsters. And speaking of the youngsters, how did they do overall? 37 goals for Hendrik. Savio with 23 and 23. Superb. Højlund, 22 goals. He got 5 starts and 43 off the bench. I mean, that is just superb. Between the pair of them, 59 goals between the pair of them. Wow. 18 and 15 for Alex Scott. Superb performance again. Reina as well. 18 and 7. That's quite impressive. Profunde, 14 and 22. Oh my word. I tell you what, we've got some really, really good talent here. Reina, though, I think 25, he's still doing the business, isn't he? He had 23 starts, 24 off the bench. 14-18 for Bargi. 10 and 13 for Neves. That's not too bad. I'm not sure where Alex Scott or Neves played, but that's impressive all the same. 12 assists for Dorgu. Nice to see. We may have to look to upgrade him, I think. 16 for Jimenez, but our goalkeeper Seaman, 88 conceded in 62. Wow, that's a lot. 18 clean sheets though. Question being, do we need to get another goalkeeper? We may need to get another one possibly, but he's 21 years old, still a long way to go. And with Yoro still picking up a few goals and looking good also, we may have to get somebody else next to him. Balassian, 3 on 4, not too bad. Our 2 wing backs have done really well. So there's only 2 people at the back I think that we really need to replace, and that's maybe Dorgu, who's done pretty well though, to be fair, and Balassian as well. They may be the 2 that we may need to replace. Not sure where else, because the side looks really, really good after that performance of the season. So getting into next season, goodness me, $500 million. Jeez. I mean, we're not going to be spending that much, but that's just crazy money. And we're already spending 1.5 million euros a week on wages. That's insane. Well, we have to do something with that. We have definitely got the money in the bank as well. And the question, have they cleared any debts? Still got 454 million euros in debt, which won't be paid off until 55. Wow. That's another 28 years away. Well, we just lose a couple of players. Ross Togo, who goes to Chelsea, a fringe player coming from the ranks, 10 million euros. Chelsea came in with an offer and we let him go. Marvin Park as well, he's finally gone. He's gone to Mallorca. He's been out on loan and they activated the optional fee for 9.2 million. That did give us a little boost, not that we actually needed it, and we brought in the following players. Gonçalo Inacio, defender, 120 million. We've got the money, let's spend it. I think he's going to do absolutely fantastic alongside Yoro as well. From PSG for 150 million euros, we're bringing Nuno Mendes, a left back. There wasn't much out there and we needed to go big. And he was probably one of the biggest players we could actually pick up from that left-hand side position. And from Inter, we stole their number 1 goalkeeper, Georgi Mamardashvili. Superb goalkeeper yet again. Again, we had the problem that there was not much out there. They wanted astronomical money especially coming from Saudi Arabia as well, so we couldn't really afford that. However, £275,000 a week, still expensive, still more than I wanted to pay. However, for 75 million euros, I think it was quite a bargain. So now our side looks like this. Looks absolutely magnificent, and needless to say, this is what I am expecting. I expect to go a full season unbeaten at some point. This will be quite nice, and hopefully get us into the Champions League final, of which we get to play Celtic, Benfica, Porto, Lille, Leipzig, Bayern Munich, Basel and Maccabi Haifa. I'm expecting to go through this group stage no matter what. And in the league, we've won our first 4 games. Almeria, Real San Sebastian, Mallorca and Real Hispalis. 4 for 4, second in the table because of goal difference, of which, wow, Barcelona have been putting it away, haven't they? And we're predicted to finish 18th in the table. Okay, I expect to be in the top 8. With the draw that we've just been given. So let's move on to our 5th season and let's see if we can pick up a few more trophies. We don't win the league, we don't retain it, we lose to Barcelona again. It's 6 points to difference this time. Tables have turned. We lost 5 games though. Atletico Madrid, Valencia, Villarreal, Barcelona. 8-2 to Barcelona. We seem to get stuffed by them quite a fair bit in these seasons. And Atletico Bilbao as well. Games that we shouldn't really be losing. Although we did win our final 5 games of the season. But we did beat them in the other tie as well. So we are getting our own back on them. And look how many goals we both scored though. 133 for Barcelona, 125 for ourselves, and we concede 43 goals again. We are conceding an awful lot of goals. I suppose that's the attacking nature, and we are getting there, but just not getting there. Hendrick gets the leading goal scorer as well, the Golden Boot. Profunde leading assist maker, and Savio as well. Superb from them guys. Competition wise, wow, just close again. But this time the Champions League will start there. Runners up in the final. Ouch. Barcelona. We need to... If we beat Barcelona in anything, we will win that something. Whatever competition it is, we will win it if we manage to beat them. They did us over 2-0 in the final of the Champions League. League phase, we finished second, actually. Losing the 1 game, and that was to Bayern Munich, but we did beat Maccabi Haifa, Basel, Leipzig, Lille 6-5. Goodness me. Porto, Benfica and Celtic. Unfortunately not to go unbeaten. Barcelona finished in 6th. They lost 2 games, PSG and Arsenal. So we went straight into the round of 16 where we beat Bayern 5-2 thanks to a 5-0 second leg victory. Unbelievable. Quarters, we beat PSG 4-3. And the semi-final, we beat Arsenal 7-4. Wow. I mean, the goals are flying in, that's for sure. We don't have any problem scoring goals. It's just defending, I think. Quarterfinals in the Spanish Cup to Real San Sebastian. We lost 3-2 away from home. Did Barca go on win that one as well, did they? They did. Yeah, I think is that the treble now for Barcelona? The Spanish Cup. Of course, we lost to Barcelona. In the final, actually. So, we got runners-up in that as well. I didn't even notice. Yeah, runners-up in that competition as well. Barcelona have taken the quadruple this season. And our squad, how did they do? 38 and 9 for Hendrick. Højlund, 25 goals. Excellent stuff from the young man. Profunde, 21 and 33. Bargi, 17 and 16. 17 and 22 for Savio. 14 16 for Scott. 14 goals for Inacio. Wow. Neves with 11 and 7. Yoro, 8 goals. I mean, they are putting performances in. 12 assists for Mendes. Jimenez, 14 assists. We can't complain, but this the situation with conceding so many goals is just unbelievable. Maybe we drop the midfielder into the DM role. Maybe we might do that next season just to stop the goals going in. But that would mean a big gap between defence and attack. Wow, 77 goals. 20 clean sheets though. Seaman not getting a game. There's quite a few not getting a game either. We're getting closer, boys and girls. We're getting closer. But for next season, 500 million again. We are going to have to look even bigger than we've done before. Not sure where to go next. So once again we have fairly quiet window, apart from a few good signings and some players leaving the club. We've had a lot of money to spend and we just can't spend it really. But the side that we have is pretty good and I don't want to upset it too much. But we did bring in some backups as well, or some very good people that can come off the bench or even start or fight for a first team place. But first, we lose Lucas Calizares. He's gone to Frankfurt for up to 15 million euros. Still a very, very good goalkeeper. So we decided to let him go, free up some space in the squad. And Ramon as well. He's gone to Feyenoord for up to 4.4. And we lose our striker. He's gone to Spezia for just under 1 million euros. 27-year-old Latassa. He's been a pretty good servant for us. Still looks pretty good, but at 27 years old, he's not getting the game time. He won't fit into our side currently. However, concentrate on the ends now. We bring in Garnacho from Manchester United, 110 million euros. Wow. And he just looks absolutely superb. 24 years old, can play on the left, can play on the right. And he's very... We all know what he's like as well. So, I mean, plenty of potential left in him as well. We also bring in Hato from Ajax. I felt like we needed some more bodies at the back. And he can play either left back, which we've only got one player apparently. And he can play centre back as well. But he looks absolutely stunning at 22 years old as well. And finally, we bring in from Lens for 72 million euros. Scrive Monunga, 20 years old. Again, another youngster. And look at them greens. Look really good. I mean, some of the yellows still in the 15s. Very, very quick. He can play left wing and he can play midfield. I thought really brought him in from midfield, but because he can play left wing as well, he's going to be very, very versatile for us and just fill in if needed. So our squad, we've locked in Scott and Neves in these two positions because if we pick our best 11, they did switch around and they do that now. Scott, I don't think is good enough to be as a cam player, so we've put him down as a midfielder there. But we've got Savio on the right hand side now. Funde, Monunga, Garnacho fills in either side wherever possible, and same with Bargi too. So we've got two really good players on the bench that can just come in and fill in. Endrick up top, and also we've got Hoyland, Jimenez, Yoro. Hato now comes into the centre back position. Mendes and Marmadashvili, I think. I'm sorry, I butchered it again. I can't pronounce his name, which is really, really annoying me. So we tried a different formation. We just tried two in midfield, the 4-2-3-1, a basic formation, and it just didn't work. Well, a win and a loss. We didn't score goals. We were clearly beaten by Nice, and it just didn't work. So we reverted back to 4 in the attacking option with the striker on top and 1 in midfield, and it's worked. Definitely with Scott in the holding position in midfield, and Neves just running right up front. And Sevilla we beat 4-1. Vallecano we beat 3-1. Tenerife 5-1. The goals start flying in. Real San Sebastian, I know we struggled with last season at the beginning. We smashed 5-0 and Girona 4-1. The Champions League, we've got Sporting, AC Milan, Manchester United, Dortmund, Hapoel Beersheva, Juventus, Celtic and Apoel. We are lying second in the table, 5 for 5. Barcelona 6 for 6. Scoring goals as well, so they've had a 7-2 win over Alves, so that's what's really pumped their scores up. But we are predicted to finish 18th. I'm not liking that. I don't understand, but we'll prove them wrong yet again. So let's jump into our 6th season and let's bring home the bacon, as they say. Season 6 has got off to a great start. We take back the league. We only lose 2 games in the process. Real Esperas and Valencia. So that means we do not lose to Barcelona. They in fact lost to us. 4 points off them this season, which means we win the league. We win it by 6 points in the end, despite having a draw towards the end of the season as well, nearly throwing it away. But look at them stats: 143 goals, 33 conceded. Just goes to show having 5 attackers going for it and then 1 holding back. It's just a lot better for us, especially with the players that we have got. But 104 points this season as well. Absolutely fantastic. Barcelona gave it a good go. Vitor Roque, 28 goals. He takes it for Barcelona, the Golden Boot, just ahead of Endrick and Profundi. Well done to him, actually. Profundi also gets the best player in the league, with Neves just behind him. In fact, both of them got the same rating, 7.73. Phenomenal. Neves, 24 assists, 17 for Savio. Profundi, 14. Absolutely fantastic as well. And our goalkeeper Georgie, 15 clean sheets, which is a lot better. And on top of that, we get to the final of the Spanish Cup where we win on penalties. That's our first Spanish Cup in this rebuild, which is phenomenal. We complete the domestic double over Barcelona, no less. So we have to beat Barcelona in order to win things. Like I said at the end of last season, what a finish to take it into penalties. Wow, or extra time. But it is Pedro with a miss, a wonderful save by our goalkeeper there. I'm assuming we are going to go through all the penalties. Garnacho, lovely finish. Vitor Roque, he does slide it underneath the goalkeeper though. Theo, how does he do? Slots it straight in. Wonderful. Arujo. Goalkeeper again. You've got to question him. He should be hitting them. Profunde. Well, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Ferran for Barcelona. Good finish again. And I think we're coming towards the end. Hendrick with a nice finish. 4-3 on penalties in the end. We didn't see the final miss though. I think it was all over by that point, I'm guessing. And we also get to the final of the Champions League where we play Bayern Munich. Not Barcelona, Bayern Munich. Hendrick's injured there. He scored a goal though. But we win this 3-0, completing our challenge for this rebuild. Oh, I'm ecstatic now. It's been a long time coming where we've haven't won many trophies and then 3 of them come all at once. Lovely finish by Højlund towards the end there. I can't believe it. To play Bayern Munich and not Barcelona, it would have been nice and poetic if we played Barcelona in the final. To be perfectly honest, I'll take the win regardless. 6 long seasons it's taken us to build this team, and then all of a sudden we're being pretty dominant in everything we've done. Semi-finals, how did we do? We beat Liverpool 5-2 over the 2 legs. Man City losing out to Bayern in the semis there. Quarter-finals, we did play Barcelona. We beat them 4-1. So kind of poetic justice there in the end. Round of 16, we played Leipzig, beating them 8-3. We didn't feature in the knockout round, which means we finished in the top 8 in the league phase. 6th, 5 wins. Hapoel, Beersheva, Dortmund. Man United, we batter 6-3. Lots of goals there. And then Sporting, wow, they might as well have not turned up. 9-1. Celtic and Juventus we drew, and we did lose to AC Milan. Barcelona did top the group, losing the 1 game, and that was to Liverpool. And Bayern Munich, they finished all the way down in 18th position. But it has been a long time coming, so like I say, not many trophies, then 3 of them come all at once. And look at the league. We got to the top, and we just did not let go at all the way across. Fantastic. And the Spanish Super Cup, we couldn't make it a quadruple. We lost in the final to Barcelona. I've said it before, we have to beat Barcelona in order to win. What a phenomenal season, and what a way to finish it off. The treble. Well done, lads. And speaking of lads, how well have they done overall? Right, Hendrick 41-10 in this final season. Fantastic. Profunde 38 and 21. That's 59 goal contributions. That is more than Hendrick. And Neves, he's found his position, hasn't he, Neves? 23 and 32. That's 55 goal contributions. Again, more than Hendrick. Mununga, what a play. He's turned out to be at 20 years old. 19 and 15. Savio, 18 and 29. 15 and 15 for Alex Scott. Garnacho 14 and 7. Inacio 7 and 1. Højlund 7 goals. He did get 1 in the final as well. Mendes 12 assists, 13 for Jimenez. And our goalkeeper, I think for the first time, has conceded less than he's played. 59 and 60, which is a lot better than last season's effort. But 21 clean sheets as well. And Seaman, he did get a game as well. Before we go, but as we always do, let's have a quick look at staffing. I'm guessing, yeah, it's the best in the league. And want to have a look at any records. Did we break any records in this rebuild in the end? Records, there we go. So, lowest league position first. Okay, so that was... Oh, that was the 2nd division where we won it. Okay, that's fair enough. The first season. Most points in the season, 104. We've just broken that. League wins, 34. We've just broken that one as well. Also, fewest league draws, 1. We've just broken that. I think all of it's this season. Most league goals scored, 143. I mean, that is fantastic, isn't it, really? I don't think that's ever going to get beaten. Highest gate receipt, 7.47 million against Marseille in the Champions League group stage. Wow, what on earth? Highest average attendance, 78. Biggest win, 10-0. We didn't get any of the results-wise, even though we did have some big ones. Most league goals by a player in the season, 61, still by Ronaldo. Highest average rating, Profunde 7.54, well done to him. And most league goals by a player in the league, match 6, Profunde in the 10-0 win over Girona. In fact, we did break a record. It was the biggest win, 10-0 against Girona. So we did break a record there. I just did not see it. Most assists by a player, 33 by Profunde. Clean sheet, Seaman has that record, well done to him. Most match awards, 8, and I don't think we got anything on transfers either, apart from the 150 million euros from Mendes from PSG season or so ago. So I think that's where we're going to leave it. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It is free to do so, and it is probably the best way to support the channel and get it out there as well. Share with your fellow fans as well. I'm planning on doing some more of these where we dismantle a club and rebuild them from relegated status. So if you want to see another one like this, please drop in the comments below who you would like to see rebuilt next in this way if you would like. And until the next time, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.